All right. Wow, a lot of you stuck around for this. Okay. Just wanted to start. About 3 years ago, when I was in the process of discerning whether or not to join Emmanuel, I spoke with a friend of mine who's a pastor that's here in the city to get his perspective. And one of the things that he shared in our conversation, he said, Emmanuel is a great church with great people. And admittedly, at the time, I didn't really think much of that statement because you could really say that about a lot of different churches. But as I've gotten to know many of you over the last couple of years, it is evident just how true that statement is. That Emmanuel is a great church with great people. Because, in my opinion, Emmanuel redefines what greatness looks like. Ever since I first visited, one of the things that I've been constantly struck by is just how down-to-earth people are in this congregation, those currently as well as those who've been through this church. There is this invitational warmth once you walk in that is palpable. And it's been confirmed to me time and time again when I hear people talk about and describe Emmanuel in their own words. So I've heard it said that people don't come to Emmanuel to network. I've heard it also said that, people at Emmanuel, no one really cares about wanting to be famous. And maybe one of my favorites is, we're just not a cool church. And isn't that a mark of greatness? Where there is not this urge to have to flaunt it all the time. And it's not surprising that our leaders embody this too. Whenever I talk to people about Emmanuel who are not here, I just give them a very quick history, letting them know that about 25 years ago, Charlie started the church. About 8 years ago, Scott then took over. And so people will just naturally ask, hey, how did that transition go? And I say to them, as healthy as you can imagine it to be. I have never felt a trace of Charlie's shadow looming over EPC. There's zero hint of him wanting to undermine Scott's leadership. And so when I take a step back, it is no small thing to see Charlie and Jeannie continue to be faithful members of our church, and they're following the leadership of Scott. But, there is that occasional email that comes through from Charlie pointing out that there's some grammatical mistakes that he noticed in our liturgy or in our slides. But another example of greatness, when power and authority can be laid down so that others can flourish. And I haven't just observed the greatness of EPC, but I'm someone who has personally experienced that as well. Before coming to the city, G and I, we were in Boston for close to 20 years. I was there for seminary. I started working at a church soon after. G and I met at that church. We got married. I was ordained there. Judah and Celine were born in Boston. And we have a treasure trove of fond memories of our time there. At the same time, things were also very hard in that stretch. I struggled with my pastoral identity. I questioned if I brought real value to ministry. I felt inadequate in my preaching, and I wasn't affirmed for the unique gifts that I thought I had. Things like loving people well and getting things done. But from the moment that I started working here, God began a tremendous work of healing because of you, Emmanuel Presbyterian Church. My pastoral identity has been renewed. Scott and our elders, they've given me so much freedom for me to be who God has uniquely made me. And not a day goes by when I cherish the gift of being seen for my humanity and not for my utility. And isn't that greatness? Where you can receive somebody who's been wounded. You take a risk on someone like me, and you don't see that as a threat, but as an opportunity for good. And I think the main reason for why Emmanuel is a great church with great people is because week after week, the greatness of EPC is not what is central, but the greatness of Jesus is. We're constantly reminded that Jesus, he wasn't somebody who flaunted his greatness, but someone who came in humility. Right? Someone who showed us what true power is by laying it aside so that others would flourish. Someone who did not see our sin and brokenness as threats, but rather as opportunities for him to bring incredible renewal and restoration to all that has been broken in this world. And so it's only been almost 3 years now, but I truly love you all. And I'm so grateful to be part of this great church. And so thank you for being a community that has invited me to now be able to join all of you in doing the work of redefining what greatness is. Thank you all.